Let's be honest here, we've all dreamed of becoming a space pirate, exploring the galaxy, plundering spaceships. What do you mean no? Okay, so that was one of my many childhood memories, but now, thanks to tribute games, you can now become a space pirate looting treasures and living the high life. Flinthook is a platformer with some roguelike elements. When you begin, you complete a short tutorial stage to get you to grips with the controls. One of the most notable things about this game is how versatile your movements are. You can jump, shoot in 8 directions, wall jump and grappling hook yourself onto the various hook points in the levels. You really do feel like you have total control over your little character. I was a bit miffed at first because you cannot use the D-pad to control the general movements, you have to use the left stick, but upon a few minutes playing, this makes total sense due to the fact that you can aim your gun and hookshot in 8 directions, and you quickly get used to it. There's also a time slowing mechanic which enables you to, as the name implies, slow the action down, which will prove invaluable in avoiding traps and during gunfights. And plus, it does look particularly nifty, especially when bobbing and weaving without getting hit. Once the tutorial is done, the game starts proper, obvious city, but it's a bit different to other platformers out there. Before you start a level, you get to choose from a selection of perks, which increase as you go through the game and level up. You then get to choose between 3 spaceships that you want to explore. These are different each time you play, which is where the roguelike element comes in. Each ship will have different characteristics to their levels and difficulty. The more difficult the level you choose, the more tokens you get to spend at the store to upgrade your character. After you complete a level, you get a space shell that your space slug can munch on. I would say this will make sense when you play it, but if this is sense, then you're probably self-medicating. You need to get a fixed number of these space shells before you can face the boss and move on to the next set of levels. And that's the basic structure of the game. These levels themselves are a combination of platforming areas which utilise the hook shot, single rooms of traps or enemies to defeat, treasure rooms, shops and much more. There is some sort of a story which is told via the collectible relics. I honestly don't know what your character is meant to be, whether it's an alien, a ghost or a sperm. The graphics are done in an old school pixel style which gives the game that classic platformer feel. The sound is okay, but some of the music gets a bit irritating when you have to complete a lot of levels in a row to progress to the boss. Which brings me to the negatives of the game. So far I've noticed a pattern of how many levels you have to do before you reach the boss in each stage. The first one is 3, the second is 4 and the third one is 5, and this is where I'm up to. The issue being is that when you die you have to start that set of levels from scratch. Now don't get me wrong, I'm all for the challenge, it's just I always seem to die on either the last level of the set or the boss. Even with the roguelike elements, I still can't shake that feeling of repetitiveness and can only manage a few goes before I momentarily lose interest. Also, and this is a little bit nitpicky, the roguelike elements isn't as random as say The Binding of Isaac, where every playthrough is completely different. There are other modes in the game, such as an infinite raid, which, as the name implies, an infinite number of levels in which your health decreases stage by stage. I would say this is one to play through if you get really good at the game to give yourself that extra challenge. There's also an online, daily and weekly challenges which help keep things interesting, although essentially what you're doing in this mode is the same as the main campaign. Having said that, Flinthook has got a lot of charm and charisma going for it. If you're a fan of old school platformers and you want to put your skills to the test, then you can do a lot worse than add Flinthook to your library.